So it's hard to condense into 3 minutes, but I'll do my best. I'll be talking about Christianity, but that's not me trying to attack anyone who is Christian. I'm just explaining my own walk through faith and thought process. I'll be using the word God, even though I don't agree with the etymology, but it's a term I used back then. So I was born into a Catholic family, not especially religious. We'd just go to church on holidays, something like that. And it always felt forced to me. I didn't like the idea of having to confess my sins to a priest because I can talk to God himself. I didn't like the idea of purgatory and their concept of salvation when they said Jesus died for my sins. And I didn't like the history of it and how a lot of those concepts really persisted through the years. So I was essentially in a gray area and basically prayed to God, I don't know what rules to follow, but I admit you exist and I want to follow the correct one, so I trust you'll lead me where to go. So I eventually found a Baptist church and started going to that and was heavily invested in it, but started finding things that I didn't like once again. And like how money was spent. I didn't like how this church would make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then if you wanted to go on a missions trip or fund certain things, you would have to pay for that yourself. That didn't make sense to me. I didn't like the concept of salvation either, because if Jesus died for your sins, but not believing in him is a sin, then shouldn't that cover that sin too? Didn't make sense to me. And then there was other stuff, but eventually I was in that gray area again, and basically read through the Bible, and I admitted that it had been translated so many times over the years by powerful people, and when that happens, agendas can seep in. So I didn't know what was real and what wasn't, and I basically just prayed, I don't know what to follow, but I trust once again that you'll lead me where I'm supposed to be, and just kept my heart open. So I found myself like not eating pork, not drinking. My tithing habits would be giving directly to the community opposed to a church, because I never trusted their agendas. And then I ended up having a conversation with a friend of mine who's a Muslim, and they kind of broke things down for me that I had never really thought of before. And all these light bulbs started going off that things I'd been doing were Islamic. I just never realized it. So once I started reading the Quran and getting into it and seeing how much it actually aligned with my thoughts and the concept of salvation in Islam and everything like that, really just fit perfectly with the mindset that I had grown over the years. So it was kind of like finding a home I didn't know I had. And that's basically what I'm trying to build my foundation off of now, and where I'm trying to be led next.